All right, everyone, welcome to Ethereum Cat Herder meeting number 48. I'm Hudson, and the first agenda item is getting the cat herders added to an ethereum.org community page. It looks like this issue is closed in favor of issue 150 when you click on it. Oh, we're just discussing it again. Okay.
So about
There's some
this,
discussion on the link, I think, right?
this was added by Brent in the previous meeting, and I have created a pull request to update it with the Discord for Ethereum cat herders. Thanks to Sam, now it is merged, and this item can be marked next list.
Cool. So yeah, I guess, Sam, if you want to take up on this, how do people get added to the page, and what do you think the cat herders should be on here, and in what capacity?
Right, so that, I guess, is what I wanted to follow up on, because last call, I think 2 weeks ago, I also joined, and I would say, like, I mean, we brainstormed a bunch of different ideas of like how we could potentially have a collaboration with the Ethereum cat herders and Ethereum.org. So I guess to like provide a summary of like what I would recommend at this point. There was discussion around like, could we provide like a whole section of the website, potentially a subdomain for the Ethereum cat herders like website to essentially live on ethereum.org. And I think like some of the team members, I think like William Schwab in particular, I think raised some valid points around just like the desire to just from even from a perception standpoint, like remain, create distinct identities between the Ethereum cat herders and ethereum.org, and kind of creating that distinction that the Ethereum cat herders and the Ethereum Foundation are like two distinct entities. So I guess where I'm at this point and want to propose and have a discussion about is to, as to like what specific content should potentially be on each. And I guess the way I see it right now is like, I think it makes sense for the Ethereum cat herders to have a separate domain where they can say like, explain who they are, what they do, who's on the team. I know you guys have a Medium blog already where you kind of do a lot of announcements and like coordination around hard forks, which I think is important to have that like distinct identity and like microphone where you can do that. And what I was really excited about last time that I'm still excited about is, yeah, like potential collaboration to put some of your informational content on ethereum.org, depending on where you guys think that makes sense. But a lot of the like information you put out around EIPs and around network upgrades, and just like helping us to build or to maintain those resources for like Ethereum client developer calls and meeting notes, giving a central place or like a standalone page on ethereum.org for that. So a lot of the just like excellent content that the cat herders are producing and writing and publishing, that we can help give more eyes on that and give greater exposure by like potentially putting that directly on ethereum.org itself. So I think there's a lot of like nitty gritty details to sort out from that. But I think, yeah, the high level is like, ultimately, I think both sides are interested in some form of collaboration where we can get this great content out like in front of a wide audience.
That's awesome. Yeah, I agree that we shouldn't move the cat herders main website to ethereum.org entirely or have like a subdomain or anything weird like that. Just like you said, for the separation of concerns, and there'd be a conflation with what the cat herders are associated with as far as the ethereum.org team and that kind of thing. And we're just like a separate group. I can kind of see a future where there is an ethereum.org page that's called protocol development or protocol updates or something like that. So if you're someone who might have like be a novice or medium experience to Ethereum, and you're like, I want to know where I can find notes and videos for the ETH1 and ETH2 meetings. I want to know what the roadmap is, where I can find the specifications repo and all this other stuff that the cat herders touch. we can kind of update that page or have links on that page that link to our pages or to the GitHub that are like neutral pages, like the EIP's repo and the PM repo that has the core dev notes and stuff like that. I think something like that would be kind of cool. Is that part of what you were getting at?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think that's a great example of what I am currently envisioning of like, our team's done a lot of work this year to build out developer resources, particularly onboarding new developers to the space. And we started our focus with dApp developer documentation. But I think there's a whole segment of potential users who are looking to either learn more about client development or just like potentially break into just like the protocol development side of things. And for a newcomer to be able to just like quickly find, okay, here's how I can follow along, here's what I should be reading and following, and here's videos and meetings I can attend. Like I see that as a huge boost to like anyone looking to enter the space from that perspective. And I mean, I think you guys do that already, which is awesome. It's just not always easy to like get that in front of people. And Ethereum.org does have that, special power of sorts where like we're typically the first place people land after Googling anything Ethereum related.
Okay. What do other people on the call think about this?
Yeah, I think that has been like very well put. That was the first, reason why we started brainstorming about this proposal. Like we have a lot of content. Ethereum cat herders does work around Ethereum network, main network only. But the visibility that could be useful for the group as well as for the community, we are not able to provide with the help of the present website that we had. So I remember from the last meeting, there was an option of having a mirror image of the current website. I think that is a proposal that is an approach that we can go through. But the idea of domain, that is again interesting, because earlier I think in the previous meeting we were having more leaned toward getting into a page, but now that you were suggesting that having a domain would be better. So,
I mean, sorry, did I interrupt you?
Go ahead. No, that's all right. Please go ahead.
Sorry about that. I mean, I think we like explored a variety of options on the last call, and that's part of the reason I wanted to hop in, just to like clarify, I guess, where and remember, I'm just one guy, but where I stand right now is like the concept of having like a dedicated page, like ethereum.org/Ethereum cat herders. I don't think that necessarily makes as much sense, at least right now. Like I wouldn't give that a hard no, but to me, that's the type of content where you explain, here's what we do, here's who we are. Again, just like personal meeting notes or info about the team in the background. Like to me, that just makes much more sense on your own personal domain. And part of the reason that we discussed about last call is just like Ethereum.org wants to kind of remain as agnostic as possible. And I do fear that like, yes, we want to promote projects. We have a community page where we'd love to, reference the Ethereum cat herders. We do already, but I think we could, even explain a little bit more of like, here's a potential way to get involved for those people looking to do so. But I think at least to start, what really makes sense to collaborate on is like focusing on what is the like objective informational content that you guys are putting out that we could help provide more structure around, and just like a home base for it where you guys could submit pull requests to make updates. The community could also continue to like edit and add supplemental information if that makes sense. And I think like, again, areas around the EIPs, which Hudson and Pooja have already like helped to create a page on, but like potential branching that out into like individual EIPs and their progress and status and additional information. That's where I see like the best fit, at least to start for this.
I don't know about getting into individual EIPs, only because we've had this problem with EIPs that we're trying to solve right now. And I think Brent can kind of attest to this, that there's like 5 different pages for EIP stuff. And so we're trying to keep it all on both GitHub and eips.ethereum.org. So having another place probably wouldn't work for that. But for protocol updates, it's really hidden right now in GitHub. So for protocol updates, that would make sense. However, for details about how to get involved and stuff, kind of like making the page a way for people to know how they can get involved and then links going out to where they can read about stuff. That's a little bit better because there's well-established places for meeting notes and video links to the core dev meetings and ETH2 meetings and the protocol update spec repository. That's like almost too technical for ethereum.org because it needs to be iterated on quickly by multiple people and in a way that it's like not, it's almost like it needs to be, I guess, like you were saying, more agnostic, like ethereum.org is. The protocol specification is kind of GitHub only right now, and I think that's probably a smart thing to do. So all that to say in summary, yeah, I think we should have a page that's the cat herders are involved in creating that is something, I keep thinking of it as like protocol upgrade information or protocol information where it talks about the process, links to go to places, and then how to get involved would have a section where it explains the cat herders, a link to our site and Discord or something.
So,
Okay, yeah, I think those are valid points. Like,
Yep.
completely agree about the just like scattered information of EIPs, and I don't want to like proliferate that even further. So happy to like keep that focused on the EIP subdomain in GitHub if that makes sense.
Sure.
And
Pooja,
yeah,
what were you
pretty
saying?
much. Oh, sorry.
Yep. So yeah, that is the basic idea. We are I just have shared a kind of prototype that was initially designed keeping that in mind, and like we are planning to create a pull request for page. I don't know how much difference would it take if we are going by the domain side, but that is pretty much the idea. I don't know if I can just screen share to explain this, or
Yeah, that sounds good.
okay.
So is this the PowerPoint you linked? Is that what Alita's working on?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We were trying to create this page. Right now, I'm referring it as a page. Maybe when we come to domain, we'll work on that page. So the design that we are trying to present here, or a proposal, is like we would be just linking to the original source of it. Say, for example, this is like the first one, when we land on the page, it will take us to Ethereum upgrades and Ethereum client developers meeting. There was just another section about Ethereum cat herders and what do we do with the Ethereum ecosystem, how we are connected or how we are contributing. I understand that is the part that Sam was mentioning, that it should be having a separate section explaining people how to do that. Now, when we look into the vision is very simple, that we want to support the Ethereum main network with more community engagement. That is like Ethereum 1. At the moment, we are supporting Ethereum 1, but we are also planning to support Ethereum 2 in future. So when we see these things, network upgrade, meeting, and resources, these would be taking back to the I think I have a page for you. So when we click on network upgrade, that will bring us to here, like Homestead, Berlin, and Muir Glacier. Whatever is there, the articles that is published by either ethereum.org or cat herders, they would be taking to that page. So we would not be having something separate or kind of something that is like having it at a different place, but they would be linking it back to the original section. These are the resources which we find that is very valuable. Like here, for example, for EIP 1559 rollup or account abstraction, we have a curated list of resources. For EIP 1559, something is there, I think, on the Ethereum/PM GitHub repository, but not for others. So these are the things we want to display. Basically, the use of this cat herders website that we are proposing to be in ethereum.org is just to be a dashboard for people to refer and go to the right place. So it's nothing specific to cat herders because this is a community funded project. We are doing everything for community.
Pooja, before you continue, this will be updates to our website, right? Like for example, the first page.
Oh, this
I'm
is
not-
just the current website that we have. It is just there. I mean, it's just the current website that we
Oh,
have.
yeah, I was to say that the second page, like that wouldn't really be something you put on Ethereum.org. But
Okay,
Yeah, I
I was
guess
thinking,
yeah.
I was thinking
I agree with
maybe
that.
we can write articles on Ethereum.org and the bottom have a footer that links back to our website or maybe our Twitter. I think that would be sufficient.
Okay, so there was some discussion last week. Unfortunately, Alita is sick and she could not join. So what we decided there was, earlier we were thinking that we should have this thing as two phases. Like one phase should be very similar to this Ethereum community page, like just simple text, and that would be just linking it back to the resources. Say for example, here, like you can see online communities and everything, upcoming events. And here we are just listing the resources and pointing it back. That was the initial idea. But eventually we were planning to improve that page for cat herders, very similar to what we have for Ethereum 2.0. Like things are there, but we will present it in this way. I mean, yeah, that was the progress since last week or maybe till today that we came across. But yes, I'm open to all other suggestions.
Yeah, I was thinking more like if you opened up Ethereum.org, looked at like one of the resources, like the actual website, Ethereum.org, and then like go to maybe about Ethereum right there in the middle.
I'm sorry, this is like very, very small for me. Yeah. Sorry,
Scroll down. Just click get started with Ethereum. I guess probably this won't be something, but scroll down. Maybe go to learn at the header. Yeah, like see the text here. Maybe we could write like little articles, not like go to the top to learn, and then navigation, guides and resources. Maybe we could write. Oh, this is a list.
Yeah. So yeah, that
Um,
was the first phase proposal. Like it would be like very simple form, just listing it out at the way it is there on our present website right now.
Yeah, so I don't think we should have like anything that has the header Ethereum characters. We could have maybe like sections of the website that are articles, like and then we could flesh them out and then at the bottom link back to our website or something like that. But having a dedicated page, I don't think would be appropriate.
Okay, I mean, like my argument to that was like having a. I mean, like if we are having two separate pages, we may have to maintain it separately, and obviously we are using community funds to have that domain and everything else. There's no problem having it because we are funded by Mola grant and maybe with the help of others grants we are doing that. But these information are for people, and I don't think that there is anything specific to Ethereum cat herders that we would like to leave it on any website. I mean, that was just my thought. But if people are okay, I mean, if we think that having a mirror image is fine, we can go about that too.
Yeah, I don't know about mirror image. That seems like a lot of work and a lot to keep up with. Instead, having pointers from ethereum.org to our resources, but at the same time explaining the resources on ethereum.org seems like a good middle ground, because it gives that extra bit of information that Sam's looking for at ethereum.org, like information about what protocol upgrades are, where to find information X, Y, and Z, like the EIP's repo and the specifications repo, while at the same time pointing to us for almost like, I don't want to say advertisement because that sounds weird, but like kind of like if you want to get involved or learn more, here's the cat herders page, and they're the ones who do a lot of the coordination around this. So
So
yeah,
that
so
is
that's
going
kind
to
of how
be
I see it.
I'm sorry. So that is going to be a static page forever, like, because these contents, like the proposal was to have these things on the ethereum.org, and the content we will keep on updating.
Yeah, so I'm shifting my perspective to where our website will have content constantly updated by us, and ethereum.org's page will be less updated because it'll be a lot of static content that's information that's unchanging. Sam, I know I said earlier that it might be more flowing content on ethereum.org, but I'm starting to go a different direction because I don't know what we would even put on there that would be constantly updated if we have it already on our website.
Right. I guess like one proposal here, and like Pooja, what jumped out to me, like just scrolling up to the top of this PowerPoint, like most of this content in my mind struck me as like a great candidate for the landing page or domain of the cat herders, because like you're prominently explaining what are the cat herders. Like I think the next slide is like, yeah, what are they? What is the vision of the cat herders? To me, this is like really great content for the Ethereum cat herders domain for people who might want to get involved as a member or just learn more about what you folks do. What I've tried to, I guess, like focus on where I see ideal collaboration is like where you get down to the content of like network upgrades or client developer meetings. Like I think it makes a lot of sense for ethereum.org to have a page on network upgrades or just like resources for client developers. And I imagine we will in the near future, just because like we continue to get requests from users who are looking for this type of information. So that, I guess, is an example of like where I would propose or suggest like just creating a page for that specific topic on ethereum.org and like maintaining that. And that's where I'm saying we're happy to say like this is, maintained in part by the Ethereum cat herders. If you want to learn more about them, go to their site, learn about their vision, learn about their team, the specifics they work on. So really trying to focus on the like objective informational content on ethereum.org and really just like the who, the what, the brand of the cat herders on your own domain. But let me know, like, yeah, your thoughts on that, or if that like doesn't align with your understanding from our last conversation.
Yeah, I agree with Sam on this.
Yeah, we can certainly look for that middle ground, because the sole purpose is to display the information. Like we are working, we are creating these resources, documenting all these notes, contributing in process improvement, and we just want this information to be available for community. So whatever works best, maintaining it two different, I don't mind that. I mean, like, I don't think it's going to be too much of work. We can definitely find a way to be efficient with that. But yes, I would like to work with you if needed, Sam, to find a middle way how to provide these information related to network upgrade and at least the client developers meeting, the calendars, these information on the ethereum.org.
Right. And to be clear, like I'm not trying to create extra work for you guys or ask you like, hey, can you also update the ethereum.org page in addition to your website? I guess what I'm suggesting at the end of the day, it's your call, it's your content, you can put it wherever you want. But just having this main content as like a splash landing page on your website, but linking to the specific like topics like Ethereum network upgrades would just link to ethereum.org and be like, hey, this is where we maintain that content because it has greater visibility, greater traffic, whatever reason you have. And for those type of resources, like I'm willing to commit and would love to help like build those pages, produce features for those, like use our design and content resources to like help with that, because I see it so closely aligned with like Ethereum.org's goal as like an education resource. But at the end of the day, yeah, like I think it's up to you guys, whatever makes more sense for like your resources, your bandwidth. I'm totally on board with, I guess, whatever you guys want to do.
Great.
I think
Go ahead, Edson.
I'm sorry, you're gonna go, Hudson.
Oh no, you can go.
Okay. I think we could start off with network upgrades because those don't update too often. At least recently. They've been taking a few months at least to push new ones out. So we could probably update that and it won't take too much work to update the new ones.
And I'm sharing a link right now of a recent page we added that right now it's called History of Ethereum. It's ethereum.org/history. But it maybe should be called like network upgrades because it does focus. It basically just provides a timeline of network upgrades. So I think this is an example of like, yeah, if you guys have additional resources or links that you'd like to add and help maintain, like that would be awesome. And I think similar, we could provide, you know, a page for just like general client development. Like for any developer who's looking to get started or learn about how client development works, how protocol development works at Ethereum, where is a place that they can get started? And that's stuff that you guys have a ton of great resources on already. So anything we can do to help kind of like consolidate those resources, I think would definitely be valuable.
Cool. I think next steps is after the holidays, coming up with a Google document where we list out, and this will be good for both the ECH website prototype that's going to be built and for ethereum.org, listing out all of the data that ECH provides. So we would put like an item that just says links to all core dev notes and another one that says overview of network upgrade. And actually, Pooja actually already has this. I forgot, sorry. But yeah, Pooja already made this. So stuff like this, we'll go through, and if it's like, oh, there's some stuff about hard forks that's like historical, like you were talking about with the history page, or stuff that's like definitions, that's going to be one thing that can go on ethereum.org. And then another one is going to be like stuff that's going to be more fluid and Ethereum cat herder related is going to be another piece we'll put into the like document of information, and then we'll just assign which goes where.
Yeah, that makes total sense. So I think we agree on this part. Like there are some information with cat herders that we would try to push it on ethereum.org, and some information on. I mean, obviously that will be also maintained at Ethereum cat herders website as well. The question that I have in my mind is like, when we are talking about providing that information, are we planning to have topic-wise pages? Sam, if you can help us understand that.
So at least from my perspective, yes. I think like from an information architecture perspective for ethereum.org, like we would have dedicated URLs depending on the topics. So one example, if you go to the developers section of the website, there's a whole documentation section of the site. A potential like evolution from there, you can see it's kind of structured by category. I could definitely see us adding a category about just like client development, and a page within that is maybe just like meeting notes, resources for all the various clients, and just like the EIPs that are being implemented, for instance. If you scroll down on the side left, you can see like we do have a section about standards that includes some like tokens. Like I could potentially see like particular EIPs if they get so much attention and adoption. And like, again, this is an open source website where volunteers contribute. So like we had volunteers build these pages on ERC20 tokens. Like if anyone was interested, they could potentially add just like a summary article on like, what is EIP 1559 and like links to resources, where to learn more. and how to follow along. So these are, I guess, just examples of like how we could potentially structure it. Like I haven't put too much thought into it, and I'm definitely open to ideas. But when it comes to, yeah, just like meeting notes about client development, like, I don't know, seems like a dedicated page that we could create and just kind of like maintain a list of resources for. Same thing with network upgrades. But yeah, I'm open to ideas and just kind of identifying what we think makes sense.
Sounds good to me. Maybe we have to now divide these things and plan it accordingly, like on different topics as suggested on network upgrades and meeting notes or calendars or something. We can, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with Hudson in terms of like first step, or maybe it's already done. But yeah, what I'd love to see is just like start collaborating in a doc, identify what is all the content that the Ethereum cat herders are producing. We can start, just jamming on some ideas of like what makes sense. What is something that like we could help offload from your plate in terms of just like maintaining a page for this resource? If that does turn out to help you guys, like if you decide, hey, that makes our job easier, we can just update our website with just like the general information on the cat herders, what we do. And then for just like the evolving content that a lot of contributors will want to potentially like edit and add to, those I would say are potential candidates for like ethereum.org pages, where we do have a fairly active community like editing and updating pages.
Okay.
Great. So next step is writing an issue in the Ethereum cat herders PM repo, I think is the right repo to do it, right, Pooja?
Yeah.
And then after the holidays, we'll get started on a doc, or we'll use that current doc either way, whatever we find better, and then invite Sam to the document and start dumping the content on there. So is there any other comments on this topic before we move on? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that we will have a talk with Alita as well, like internally, of course, and then we'll get back with more details to Sam on this.
Okay. Sounds good. So the next one is progress on the ECH website, and we just went over that through the PowerPoint that you linked. And Alita also posted an update in text because they couldn't make it today. But on the Ethereum cat herders website, or I mean Discord, what am I thinking? The Discord. So if anyone's interested in that update, go check that out. But if you want to give a quick like couple sentence summary, Pooja, I think I forgot what they said.
Yeah, basically this was all about this discussion that we were having. The second topic we already have covered. We just wanted to update that we made some progress. We have this document and a kind of prototype ready. Now we have to think where is the best place to start working on it, or maybe Alita would be looking to start coding these things.
Okay. Anybody else have a comment on this topic?
Yeah, I would just say, like, I'm in your Discord. I don't see a website channel or update on this.
Oh,
but
it is
if you do
there.
want to
I will-
loop me in at all, like, I'd be happy to like be helpful where I can, or like answer questions, or just try to help you guys get it up and going.
We do have a channel for that. I'll grant you the access, Sam.
awesome. Okay. Next up, we have meeting notes updates. The EIPIP meeting, I think we have notes for that already, don't we? Or I might just have Pooja do this since I think you.
Yeah. So I'm sorry about that. So I think that notes was with Brent. Yeah, if you can go ahead and.
Yeah, there was a couple of things talked about the yellow paper relationship and whether that's the canonical source of information, and I made a proposal after that. I was late to the meeting, but I proposed that we put a statement in the EIP, or I mean in the yellow paper, that mentions that people will be or mentions that there's a community that keeps the yellow paper up to date for human readable purposes for newcomers. People want summary information, but that it's not the canonical main information, and put a link back to the the specification page. But anyway, I'm working on that, and also there was a few other action items like that. But yeah, do we want? Is that good enough? Do we want more detail than that?
Sounds
That's good for
good.
me.
I think, yeah, you already have created the pull request, I believe, and it should be done.
Yeah, I think it's accepted. I'm looking at the.
Okay.
It looks like someone already accepted. It's live. I'm looking at the live one right now. So
Cool. So the next meeting is for EIP 1559, and the person who has taken note is unfortunately not available, but I may have quick summary of that meeting. It's 1559 implementers are building a mainnet size testnet to analyze 1559 performance on large networks. They are planning to get Besu, Nethermind, and Get onto that large state test network and schedule a transaction spamming session and gather metrics for all these 3 clients. There were some progress on addressing the transaction pool issues caused by the changing base fee, and they will be working on updating the transaction pool behavior. They have new simulations that analyze the behavior of a legacy and 1559 style transaction on single network. Some discussions were around EIP 2718 for EIP 1559, but that has been tabled till Berlin hard fork. The next meeting is a all core dev meeting. Unfortunately, Alita could not join, and the notes would be shared. I mean, she is sick, and the notes would be shared maybe as soon as possible. The last one in the list is at 2 meeting. The meeting was very quick. It was like just 30 minutes meeting, and the discussion part was around the hard fork that could be planned early to mid next year with the enhancements like accounting reform and adding light client sync committees. Vitalik has added some pull request that is available in ETH2.0 spec repo. More discussions on this will take place in January 2021, but client developers who are engaged with this are highly encouraged to look into this pull request. So that's all on the meeting side.
Okay, great. Next up, we have Peepaneep.
Okay, so in the past 2 weeks, we had 2 PPNE sessions. One was EIP 2938 account abstraction, which was with Sam and Ansgar. This was the part 2 because on the community request, we had this detailed session on account abstraction proposal. They came up with some new progress that is done for the EIP 2938. It's a very good watch for people using it in their dApps. The another EIP that we covered last week was EIP 1559. Tim Baiko explained and provided an overview of the proposal, as well as he explained some of the misconceptions which are with this proposal around like base fee burning and 200. I mean, like they also explained some 200% full block meaning. What is that? And it's a good watch. There are some interesting question answer sessions as well. So if someone missed it and could not watch it earlier, please go ahead and watch. This week, we are planning to have a meeting with Nick Johnson on how to improve the EIPs, which are like we have a present format and we are working around it. So what are the things that can improve a proposal? So we'll be having this discussion tomorrow, hopefully, and the recording will be shared soon with the community.
Awesome. Next up is the cat herders funding. I can give this one. We have rage quit our shares of Moloch DAO. What that means is we asked for $45,000 and it's denominated in shares that people in the DAO have. Like if you have a share, you have a certain percentage of the current total ether in the pool. So the Ether is actually wrapped as an ERC20 token called wrapped Ether. So when we rage quit our shares, we received, I forgot how much, but we received $40,000 to $45,000 worth of wrapped Ether, depending on the price. I've submitted a transaction to transfer that Ether to an account I control, so I can unwrap the Ether, convert it from ERC20 Ether to normal Ether, and then divide it to get part Ether, part stable coins, and then return it to the Gnosis safe. So that transaction's in there whenever multi-sig signer can sign that, and then I'll get going on it today or tomorrow. Or I could wait till the price goes up, but I don't know how long I want to wait. So I guess it'll just depend on my availability.
I think in general, we should probably just look at the funds as like an ASAP kind of thing and not game the price.
Yeah,
Gas prices,
I
I
agree with you.
understand. Like waiting till the weekend for low gas prices, I totally understand. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's a good call.
I
So
think
that's
especially like this time with like, even though the vaccine's out, who knows what'll happen in the markets. Like recently there was news about like a new strain in the UK or something across the markets for a bit. But yeah, I think it's safer just to convert it soon rather than try to predict the market.
Okay, sounds good. I'll do that.
So do we have any thought on like converting it completely, or do we want to save some, or like how do we want to do it? Like 50-50 to DAI and USDC, or like is there any ratio and proposal in mind?
I was wanting to do 30-30-30, keep ETH, USDC, and DAI, but that's me. And actually, that leaves 10%, which I would not be taking. I meant 33.33%.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, I figured that's what you meant. The truth is, I've never really gone through the requests. Do we pay anything in USDC? Like, are there people who prefer being paid in USDC?
Yeah, we do.
There are. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Am I the only one who takes ETH?
No.
No, there are a couple of more.
I do. I take ETH.
So that, yeah, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 sounds very reasonable to me then.
Cool.
Great. And that hedges our bets, because if things crash, we do have some USDC and DAI for note taking, and we can adjust our other plans. And if it goes up or stays the same, that's good too.
Yeah. Agreed.
Okay, so we'll just do that. Any other comments on this topic? Okay, let's discuss and close the GitHub issues and PRs. The first one is the PM repo. Number 103 and 79, or I have an update for staking in DXDAO, but add an option to Ether nodes for accounts in process. We've talked before about how we're going to wait on that until we get closer to the fork. Staking in DXDAO, I didn't get a chance. I know I've talked to Lane recently, but I haven't brought it up because it's the holidays, and I don't know if we'd be able to get in touch with everyone we need to get the money out. So I put a comment in there that I'll say I'll approach this again after the holidays. If you go to closed issues.
Wait, something on DXDAO?
Yeah.
How much money is locked in there?
I think only 50 DAI. Let me look. I don't think it's a lot.
I think 100 or something, maybe.
Yeah, it was like 50 or 100.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just wondering because it's been locked there for I think it might be the second year.
I'm like laughing out loud, you know, like I've been hearing about this issue, and it's like yes, it's the 50 DAI.
Yeah, I think it's 50 or 100. I can't find it right now, but yeah, we'll figure it out. Let's see. Yeah, I still can't find it. Either way, it's not. I don't think it's a lot. The other thing is, if you go to closed issues, and you search for converting Psi to DAI USDC, I closed that this morning. So here's what happened. We had about 0.14 Ether stuck in the old Gnosis wallet, like the old school one, that we were trying to put to our new Gnosis safe. And the transaction kept failing. And the reason was Gnosis wallet told us we had 0.14 ETH in the multi-sig, when really we had 0.138, and Gnosis UI would round it up. So it kept failing because we were trying to take out more ETH than we had. So what I did was I just adjusted it to the actual amount we had, and the transaction finally went through. So I can close this ticket. This ticket also goes in to show how back in April I converted things from SAI to DAI and DAI to USDC and stuff like that. So this kind of goes through my process if anyone's interested, how I'm going to be doing it this time probably. I might use MetaMask's new swap feature instead of stuff like 1inch because that's usually a little bit more cheaper.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it'd be more gas efficient.
yeah, we can stop using Gnosis wallet now unless there's an airdrop. Like for instance, the Uni airdrop, we got 400 Uni tokens or whatever, or whoever did the swap got 400 Uni tokens that I think we ended up converting, if I recall, and the Gnosis wallet. So if there's airdrops in the future, we'll need to use it, but otherwise I'm going to leave it.
Interesting.
That's the only other issue in the repo besides the agenda. And then if we go to the funding repository for cat herders, I've cleared out I've approved all of the transactions that Pooja created for note taking, except for William Schwab's. That was on hold for some reason, I think. Right, Pooja?
Yep. I was trying to change William's mind. I don't know what's there. Yeah, I'll look into it and try to clear it up. Yeah, William, you were saying something?
I'd still rather take half price. I was 2.5 weeks late.
Okay, so this was like very strange case that came up. Like William has requested for only half price because he was late in submitting the meeting notes.
Super late. The meeting after me got PR'd before I did, I think.
Well, I think it's fine if you took the whole amount, but if you feel better taking half, then that's fine too.
Yeah, so I was just trying to take a chance if he changes his mind. And
yeah,
I appreciate it. I think I'll take half.
Okay, we'll do that transaction then, and I'll approve it once it's created.
Yeah.
All right, and then that's
it was a pretty wild meeting, I do have to say. It is definitely the only time I have been on a meeting where 0.1A took well over an hour.
I'm sorry, I was talking on muted phone. I don't know.
What was that?
So I thought I was in conversation with you guys, and then I realized I was.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, what were you saying?
So I was just saying that I was trying to change mind of William about this funding issue, and I was hoping that he would change and make it full funding. But now that is there, I will go ahead and approve it. Yeah.
Okay.
Cheers.
Sounds good. Review outstanding action items from meeting 47. Decide how and if to put content on ethereum.org. It sounds like we've more or less done that or in the process of making documents to plan that. Provide Alita with funding for the website. Was that from something from the last meeting?
Yeah, we were discussing that in this smaller grant, we have secured some funding for website development. Alita showed interest that she would be working on it. I think Edson also has proposed it. So whenever we come across like what we are going to do, like we have a proper plan, we'll try to create a budget for it and estimate funding. So that was there, like Alita was requesting for that, and we said, yes, we have secured the funding now.
Okay, that sounds good. The next one and final action is discuss spinoff of PEEP and EEP. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that was another section. Like we discussed in the previous meeting that we are currently having a PEEP and EEP session, which talks about EIP proposals only, but there were some proposal around if we can start talking about specific dApps or projects as well. So I have suggested Alita to come up with a complete proposal. It was from her that she would be interested in having these kind of sessions. So we kind of discussed that we should have at least a 10 dApps in list, and we kind of come up with a proposal like what is there in the plan and how we want to execute it, and then we can have another show like PEEP and EEP.
Okay, yeah, let's look into that for sure. Any comments on that item or anything else on the last meeting?
Not on
Okay.
that. Yeah, so sounds good. Like, I mean, I'm very happy that at least we get some next steps for how we are planning to move with ethereum.org and how we are planning to move our content or maybe display our content. So I hope to, I will be granting access to Sam and we can continue discussion and chatting on this topic.
Okay, sounds good. The last thing is blogs on the ECH Medium. Did those get posted? I forgot.
Those were waiting for Edson's comment. So Edson was unfortunately unavailable in the last EIPIP meeting, and we could not decide that if those should be posted. Edson, last time with James, we had this discussion that it's better to go off with Ethereum cat herders blog only. So if you're fine, we can go ahead with that.
Yeah, I mean, I researched James. He hasn't reached back to me. I think I'm not sure if he will reach back to me. I'm not sure if he saw my message. We got lost between a bunch of other messages. I think it's fine just putting it on the ECH medium.
And there was one more blog which I think is still pending. And last time Light Client requested if it is available, he is willing to add some comments on the process and the documentation part of EIP editors, like what their roles and responsibilities are.
Great.
Yeah, that's in progress. I'll put a drafts sometime. I'm a little busy this month, so maybe after the holidays. I think this month is almost already over.
Sure.
Yeah, most of the stuff will be after the holidays. I know I'm not doing Jack till January after this meeting, I think.
Sure, no problem.
Well, except for exchanging the WETH to Ether and doing the DAI. I'm doing that. So, yeah.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, let's just hope we don't crash between now and tomorrow or today. Anyways, okay, there's nothing else on the agenda. Does anyone have any final stuff before we go? Okay, thanks so much for a great year, everybody. Happy holidays, and we'll see you in January.